Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
On behalf of Sheriff Eidelberg, thank you all for coming to show your support and love for Sheriff's K-9 Dax. K-9 Dax began his law enforcement career in the spring of 2015, shortly after he turned 1 year old. It didn't take him long at all to have his first successful track where he saved his first life. You have all seen the success of Dax over the last 9 years. He's located over 400 missing endangered people. And that's very significant. These are individuals who are missing at a very high risk of serious bodily injury or death. There's no doubt this equates to over 400 lives being saved by this K-9 right here, K-9 Dax. K-9 Dax has located some of society's most violent fleeing criminals, people who have committed serious harm against others and were trying to escape. He's still got it in him. If it weren't for K-9 Dax, odds are they would have been able to escape and go into a hiding to avoid being held accountable for their actions. And let's not forget about the dozens of firearms that were discarded by fleeing offenders, where K-9 Dax located those, avoiding a curious child from coming across a firearm and having a tragic outcome. Not to mention the kilos and kilos of drugs he sniffed out during his career, saving countless lives from overdose throughout the county. K-9 Dax has received significant, much-earned recognition throughout his 9 years serving the people of Lake County and beyond, with dozens of awards from organizations across the United States and Illinois government bodies. Dax has been featured several times in the national media and certainly here in our Chicago media market. It's hard to travel anywhere in the United States and meet somebody that hasn't heard of K-9 Dax from here in Lake County. Most importantly, Dax has earned the trust and respect of the people we serve here in Lake County. He's revered as a hero, and both Dax and Deputy John Verlenza have brought such great credibility not only to themselves, but to law enforcement as a whole. I'd like to introduce K-9 Dax's human partner, Deputy John Verlenza.
Good morning. Thank you everyone for coming. Hopefully it'll settle down here in a few minutes. Dax's first deployment to find a suspect was in North Barrington in the summer of 2015. We were called to the scene of an aggravated domestic battery that occurred in the middle of the night, and the offender fled from the resident on foot, which isn't uncommon. Dax arrived, picked up the offender's scent outside the home, and began tracking him through the woods and behind the residence. A few minutes into the track, I heard a branch snap in front of us, and I thought for sure it was the offender. Dax ignored it. Sorry about that. Dax ignored it and kept tracking as the deer ran out in front of us. He tracked across the golf course past some sleeping geese like they weren't even there. He continued to search into another heavily wooded area where he found the offender hiding behind a tree. Dax started to bark aggressively, go figure. Something he's obviously excelled in. And the offender gave up. I remember being so proud of him, looking back, I could tell he was proud of himself also. Well, Dax has stayed with it the last 9 years, but I never anticipated that first find in the woods would be the start of a career that would see him locate hundreds of violent offenders, subjects in mental crisis, lost children, and elderly subjects. And most important, in the process of finding these individuals, saving many lives, and making a positive impact on many others. So today we celebrate the retirement of Dax as a police K-9. Again, thank you to all of you here today and all of Dax's supporters throughout his career who couldn't be here today. Sorry for the pauses. Pun intended. I want to say thank you for all the cards, letters, care packages, as well as the well wishes as he's worked to recover from his recent injury. I want you to all know the special role you have played in Dax's career and his rehabilitation. I'd like to thank Sheriff Eidelberg and his administration for affording us every opportunity to train so that Dax could reach his full potential and have such a successful career. And above all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be Dax's handler and now owner. I want to say thanks to the owner of Tops Kennels, Alex and Paula and Krista Rothiker. 9 years ago, Alex and Paula saw something special in a hard-to-handle 13-month-old German Shepherd. At the time, his name was Luca. I remember just before I met Luca, two of his training partners, Mike and Joe, at the kennel, told me Luca had a hard time paying attention. Mostly during his obedience training, and he didn't like to put his nose to the ground to track, but he certainly loved to play. Ironically, his obedience and tracking would eventually be what he would become best at and love to do the most. That rowdy pup would later be named Dax by a young student in the Lake County community. Anna, a student at St. Joseph's School in Libertyville at the time, provided the unique name of Dax during a naming contest. Dax had his working name, and your attention seemed drawn to him from then on. Paul and Alex paired us up knowing I would not dwell on what Dax was. Instead, they knew I would train him for what he would become. It didn't take long for Dax's exceptional work ethic and his desire to please to lead to great things. And I was truly honored and proud to be a part of everything he accomplished. Grateful is the word that comes to mind when thinking of what Sheriff Eidelberg, Under Sheriff Oliver, Chief Richards, Deputy Chiefs John Berduca, Covelli, Eckenstaller, K-9 Lieutenant Kaiser, K-9 Sergeants Cavalis, Amber, and Zinkowicz, and my fellow deputies have all done for Dax. All of you have played a role in his success. Over Dax's career, we've had the best trainers possible in Alex, Paula, Krista, and to my right here, Rolando. Todd, Nick, Derek, Tim, Paul, Dave, and Mike, I'm grateful to you all. Dax has had excellent veterinary care provided by Dr. Alexis Newman and her staff at Partners in Paws Veterinary Services, and Dr. Christine Jurek and her staff at Tops Veterinary Rehab. And they are both here today as well. To them and all the others who helped Dax be his best by providing optimal training and the best health care possible, I want to again say thank you. There is no way to explain what a family like mine meant to contributing to Dax's success. My wife was always there to lovingly care for Dax and not correct him when he's barking. If I wasn't. She listened to countless hours of me talking about Dax's training and deployments and provided valuable advice, sometimes by saying nothing at all. My children always gave him their love and plenty of daily distractions. Most of all, they sacrificed our time together because they realized how important training time was for Dax. I love you all. Thank you for giving... That's going to make him bark again. Boy, we just got him quiet. Dax. Thank you for giving Dax the training and work time he needed and the best environment possible to come home to after every shift. Dax gave everything he had to being a police K-9. He loved every aspect of it, especially finding and sometimes biting an offender. Part of what made Dax so successful, believe it or not, was his gentle nature. See, Dax was never a mean dog. He was always relaxed around people he didn't perceive as a threat. Dax Leighton was very... Dax Leighton was very calm around other animals. Our cat Mittens at home is by far his favorite. But that calm nature paired with the proper training made him an exceptionally confident and tough dog. Dax always had the ability to adjust his level of aggressiveness to threats he faced during his career. Many offenders simply gave up without a fight because of his formidable warning bark, go figure, and appearance. He's pretty good looking, isn't he? I love being his best friend and handler for the last 9 years. That time has gone by so fast. I wish I took more in time to enjoy the little things during his career that looking back seems so much bigger now. So here are some of the seemingly little things about working with Dax that when I reflect on have grown to mean so much more to me. I'll miss doing demonstrations with Dax, especially for school children. The look on their faces when they watched him and their thoughtful questions about him always made me smile. I'll miss following Dax on tracks to find people, especially like the one when he apprehended an offender at the end who fled on foot into some 6-foot-high cattails, which isn't uncommon, but this was rather rare after he crashed a stolen truck with a stolen ATM chained to the back of it. What we found out later from the FBI was that the offender that Dax apprehended was part of a larger criminal network from Texas, and that they had used this technique to steal hundreds of ATMs and millions of dollars in the past. I'll miss training with Dax, Alex, the TOPS crew, and my friend Orlando. I'll miss taking Dax with Alex, Orlando, and Todd across the country to certifications, trials, demonstrations, and shows. I'll miss recapping his deployments with them and planning Dax's training to always make him better. We'll miss being around the other handlers that are here today and all the others that couldn't be. Dax always took his training to the next level when other great K-9 teams were around him. And there's evidence of when they started walking up, you could see him pick up even more. So he thought it's a training, he probably thinks it's a training day today. It's not, Dax. We'll miss hanging out with our fellow tactical response team operators during training and being in the vehicles with them when they go to call-outs. They're a great bunch of guys. They love Dax, and I love them. Dax and I will miss his supporters everywhere. You need to know how much you've meant to us over the years. You've helped make this career remarkable. Recently, I've received more get-well letters, cards, and care packages from you for Dax than I can count. Your get-well letters and cards have touched me and my family. They've made me reflect on Dax's amazing career even more. Dax has taught me a lot about being a handler. He's been tolerant of my mistakes and my shortcomings along the way. And eventually I got it right and began to read him better during our deployments, which helped him to succeed. There are other great K-9s out here. Many of them are here today. But there was no K-9 that could out-train Dax, and I believe that played a significant role in his success. There's a book from the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, that reads, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who shall go for us? And I said, Lord, here am I, send me. I've always thought of this passage prior to every deployment with Dax. I feel God sent Dax here to go for us when he was asked, and his response by way of his actions was always, send me. Thank you, Dax, for always being there. God bless all of you.
On behalf of Sheriff John D. Eidelberg, K-9 Dax, you have earned every accolade that you have received throughout your career. You served our community with pride and distinction. Your official request to retire is granted. You are hereby allowed to enjoy your time and relax with the Ferlenza family. K-9 Dax, you are officially 1042, and we will forever be grateful for your service. I'd like to invite District 8 Board Member Diane Hewitt and County Administrator Patrice Sutton to please come up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I find this very upsetting, so please forgive me.
Come on, I made it through. You can.
I sit here next to you. On behalf of Sandy Hart, our Lake County Chair, and the 19 board members on the county board, we want to say thank you to Dax. Dax is the best of the best, will never be replaced. So please be honored that you are here, because he will never be replaced by anyone. So please, thank you, Dax.
Yeah, we'll go.
Hi, I'm Carissa Casbin, Lake County Board Member for District 7, and I just want to say thank you so much, Deputy Forlenza, and congratulations, Dax, on an amazing and storied career. You are a hero of epic proportions, and I'm so grateful to be here today to celebrate your life's work and achievements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Patrice Sutton, County Administrator, and on behalf of Lake County, I just want to thank you very much. We are so proud of the positive national attention that you have brought to Lake County, but more importantly, we are so proud of the input to public safety. It's just been amazing, the impact that you've had on making our county a safer place. So we are very grateful. I know that Dax is an amazing dog, but I don't know much about canines, but I'm certain that it's the partnership that really matters. And so we are so very grateful to Deputy Forlenza as well for making such an amazing partnership.
Member Hewitt, Member Casman, County Administrator Sutton, thank you. State's Attorney Eric Reinhardt would like to say a couple words.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. Eric Reinhardt, Lake County State's Attorney. On behalf of the State's Attorney's Office, I want to express our support for Deputy Forlenza and Dax, and all of the canines that are working to make Lake County safer. I loved what John said about going forward, and what Administrator Sutton and Member Hewitt and Caspen said about heroes. Not only is Dax a hero, not only are the canines that work for all of us are heroes, but they are working to protect heroes. The deputies of the Sheriff's Department and the other men and women of law enforcement, they themselves run into the danger. And when they run towards the danger to make all of us safer, to protect the children and the people of Lake County, when they run towards the danger, they often have a canine like Dax with them. That is unbelievable. It is an amazing testament to our Sheriff's Department and to all of the men and women in law enforcement who run towards that danger. Dax, thank you for running alongside them. Thank you for making all of us safer. On behalf of the State's Attorney's Office, we want to thank Dax for his service. Thank you.
And if I can invite Round Lake resident Christy to come forward, she wanted to say a couple words.
Hi. To me, K-9 Dax is the top dog of Lake County and other departments around the world. To me, I always refer to them as the dynamic duo of Lake County, and they were truly unstoppable. If they were out on your scent, you weren't safe. So to me, that was always refreshing to know that he was always out there. What else can I say? He's set some pretty high standards, and the other pups have some pretty big paws to fill, but I do wish him a happy retirement and lifelong of belly rubs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our retirement ceremony for K-9 Dax. K-9 Dax, Deputy Forlenza, they will stick around for pictures. We have some trading cards of Dax, some pictures. You're welcome to take a look at the photo board up here. Additionally, we're going to have some refreshments, some cake. I don't know if it's going to feed everybody here, but first come, first serve. Thank you for coming. I mean, this really shows what a true testament Dax has, the contributions he gave to this community. So thank you so much. One more quick announcement, sorry. Police K-9s that are here, if you can stand by, see Tammy. She's gonna have to raise her hand, I think, so she can be seen. And Kevin for a quick overview photo, thank you.
Can you start by spelling your name and position?
Sure, Christopher Covelli, C-O-V-E-L-L-I, Deputy Chief with the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, my first question is, how are the members of the Sheriff's Office reacting to Dax's retirement?
You know, it's certainly a bittersweet announcement, a bittersweet day. Bitter in the sense that we're losing a tremendous asset that served Lake County, served our agency so well, his colleagues on patrol in every division of the Sheriff's Office. I mean, he's done so much. Sweet in the sense where we're very happy that K-9 Dax gets to go live and enjoy retirement with Deputy Forlenza and the Forlenza family. And we're very fortunate to have 9 additional K-9 teams that will fill in that gap until we have another K-9 joining the ranks.
And can you tell me what made Dax such a special K-9? Was it his partner? Was it a combination of training or other reasons?
Really, the only thing we can attribute to the success of K-9 Dax is the partnership he had with Deputy Forlenza. It is truly incredible how those two grew to know each other, really know each other's move. They trained each other, as we heard from Deputy Forlenza today. And that bond, that partnership, how hard they worked to train to always be better, is what made K-9 Dax so very successful.
Do you know of any notable or memorable successes? Can you name an incident that stands out or success of K-9 Dax?
I'll tell you, I've been lucky to write about Dax many times in press releases for the Sheriff's Office, and what always stands out to me is when he locates a missing child that's endangered, or an individual in the community maybe in mental health crisis, or somebody that potentially due to exposure from conditions outside could be facing death if they're not located. And numerous times, over 400, he's located missing, endangered people and no doubt saved their lives.
And we've heard of numerous additions to the Sheriff's Office regarding the K-9 team. With Dax retiring, is he going to be replaced, or what does this mean for the future of the K-9 program?
So K-9s obviously are a really important component to our agency. 5 years ago, we only had 3 K-9s. We've increased that now to 10 K-9s in our agency. And so we certainly will be replacing Dax, although he isn't replaceable. We will find another K-9 that's suitable and move forward with that in the future.
My last question is, if you can describe Dax in one word or a couple of words, what would that be?
I think incredible is the only thing you can say. I mean, this was the wonder dog. He could find anything. He and Deputy Forlenza, truly one of the best all-time K-9 teams I have ever seen.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Can you start by spelling your name and your position, please?
John Forlenza, F-O-R-L-E-N-Z-A.
Is there a notable or memorable experience you've had with K-9 Dax?
There's a lot of them. You know, they're collectively, we've covered so much of the county on our calls. What's memorable is driving by those locations, seeing where we've had deployments. But I think overall, when you put them all together, what's most significant is the lives that are saved during those deployments, on many occasions, including my own. So that's what I'll remember the most.
And what makes you and Dax such a special combo?
Well, I think he's an exceptional dog. He's very smart naturally. The training only enhanced that. And through training, you build a bond with the dog, trust. So obviously he trusts me, and I trust him. And that made for a very good working relationship.
And can you tell me about Dax's retirement life, what that might look like, and what's ahead of him following his medical prognosis?
His retirement life will be different. He's used to going to work, being in the squad car. However, all along he's been acclimated to our house. He's gone home with me after every shift. So there'll be a transition there where he has to get used to getting a little more sleep, not being as physically active, jumping in and out of the car, going to calls. But I think I'll adjust just fine.
And last question is, are you planning on getting a new K-9?
I would really like the opportunity, so we'll see how it works out. But that would be it'd be an honor to do one more.
Thank you.